Hello everyone and welcome to Outward, an open world hack and slash third person survival game by 9 Dot Studios. The game reminds me of Skyrim, Ark and Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, interestingly enough about the game, it can be played in couch co-op, split screen and online co-op as well, which is quite curious for a modern age game. They seem to have forgotten about the couch co-op ever existing. So we're going to be looking at the start of the game. I've already played about an hour into the story so far, but I figured I'd go ahead and start a new game with already picked up a little bit of knowledge about the game's workings. Okay, let's see, select character, start a new game. It always says you start a new game, even if you've already got an active save, strangely enough. So this is my save. It doesn't give me much information besides the name of my character and their location. So I'll just start a new character and show off the character creation screen as well. So you can pick male and female. You can pick a couple of races. There are 3 so far. 3 races and 6 face styles. No, not 6. A couple of face styles per race, it seems. So for my other character I went with Orion. I think I went for face style 5. Go ahead and show them all off first. So you've got young, old, round-headed, pretty ordinary, not the greatest, but I've seen worse. Oh damn, what happened to this guy? Damn, he's been in the grinder. Another older guy here. Damn, Kazites seem to be a battle-hardened race. Anyway, I'll just go with the standard, well, the one that I picked for my other character. Quite a few hairstyles here, 15 different ones. You go for an afro with a bun, which is weird. Let's see, I think I'll go for again. I realize my audio is a bit loud. I've got to adjust that. Don't want any weird reverb going on. Okay, hair color. All the colors. Bright purple, orange, green, turquoise, white, everything you might want. We just go for brown, grey, or blonde. I'm not sure. Yeah, gonna make him the exact same as I made my previous character. Alright, gonna Judas. There we go. We're good. Alright, on we go. It's got quite long loading screens, but you get useful tips while you're loading, so there's that. Now I've heard the team developing the game is quite a small team, and the game has quite a little bit of bugs here and there that aren't completely ironed out yet, and the graphics aren't amazing, but it does a couple of unique things. All my life I've lived within the safety of Cierzo, spared the brutality of the world outside, but life in Ori is never that easy. For all the safety that my tribe provides, our laws are harsh. We are judged not as individuals, but as bloodlines. The failures of my bloodline weigh heavy on me. My grandmother brought ruin to our tribe long ago, bringing a heavy blood price upon my family. We've paid the debts caused by her actions ever since. I joined an expedition across the sea with my old friend Yazan, hoping the money made there would be enough to clear my debts. This was a mistake. I'm lucky to still be breathing after our ship hit rocks on the return voyage. Now I have no choice but to pick myself up yet again and face the wild, untamed land outside the walls. I must carve out my own future or die trying. Okay, so as with a couple of RPGs, you start off shipwrecked on a beach. I'm thinking most recently of Salt and Sanctuary, a game I know of, but I know quite a lot of RPGs have this trope where you start off, oh no, I had everything, but all of a sudden we end up with nothing, and well, it's an excuse to tutorialize the player, so you can start off fresh. Hold triangle to gather, take tattered attire. So everyone's going to start off the game like this. I believe the time of day is always set to the time of day that you start off here. And I don't think you can travel much around at the start here. You're kind of funneled into following a certain path. You'll notice you can gather quite a lot of things, but not a ridiculous amount of things like in Skyrim. It's quite limited. Oddly enough, you can, to gather wood from trees, you just have to be next to a tree and you give it a little scratch and you gather a bunch of wood while doing that. Don't need an axe or nothing. Easy. So the world is filled with a lot of fantastical objects and things that seem almost out of place, like they were, you know how you can play around with a level editor in games and you can just plop down any old object anywhere. Well, I don't know much about the story of the game because I haven't gotten far into it yet, but you do notice seeing these things that just seem weirdly out of place. Like you've got these oddly shaped rocks here in the distance, you've got these giant really colorful shells on the beach here, and there's going to be more things we're going to see in a minute too. Just weird objects that seem almost out of place. There's no like immediate explanation to their existence. Why not gather some more gaberries, bandages. What is this? Oh yeah, improvised bedroll. So everything's got weight. Just like in Skyrim, you have to worry about being over encumbered. So you access the menu, well, the main menu with options button, but you won't be using this menu very often. You can pause the game. I don't think you can pause it when you're playing split screen. If you want to start split screen, you just go to the main menu and you go like over to split screen, then that starts up a split screen session, and it's as easy as that. And I think your couch co-op partner could just drop in with another controller and you can end the split screen like that. I don't know if you can change the split screen settings to be vertical instead of horizontal. I'll quickly check. I doubt it. The game doesn't seem to have many options. Unfortunately, I think being vertical split screen, I don't know, maybe it is better horizontal. Anyway, stop that split screen. You can save, but the game does auto-save semi-regularly. I have had a crash once before, and I've only played the game for a few hours. Crashed going into a building, and I did lose a bit of progress, but not a lot, because it does auto-save quite a bit. Let's talk to this guy. Hey there! Yazan Argenson. Judas, you're alive. You must be freezing. Come on, warm up by the fire before you freeze to death. Where are we, Yazan? The last thing I remember was our ship hitting a rock.
We're not far from home. You can see the lighthouse from here, can't you?
Eto made it out too. He's making his way home to Cierzo to go get help. Eto made it out alive too. Thank Elat.
He's a Kazite. He was born on a ship.
This probably isn't the first time he's had to survive a shipwreck. Yeah. I've already seen ESO Elder Scrolls Online's video on it, and as he's mentioned, it is a preview of the game. The dialogue is partially voiced. Often the first bit of text will be voiced, and after that the voice actor gives up. To spare their voice, they neglect the rest of the lines, in many cases.
Go ahead and sleep in one of the extra bedrolls.
Okay, if you're still feeling too injured from the shipwreck, go ahead and sleep in one of the bedrolls I laid out, and I'll keep watch over Eto and rescuers. Keep watch for Eto and rescuers. Alright, so I'm not sure if you can just like delve into the wide world and ignore the whole start of the game. Probably not. You're probably locked into the sequence that we're in right now. Can I do anything here? I could turn off his campfire. There you go. Yeah, go ahead and use the improvised bedroll. Oh yeah, there's a system here. Pretty complicated. I haven't figured it out and used it to its maximum potential yet, but there's a feature of how many hours you spend. It doesn't really show when you're going to wake up, but you can tell kind of. This is evening, here's night, morning, and daytime, so you can kind of tell by the color of the sky here on this little pictogram what time roughly you're going to wake up. And I found that sleeping for a few hours is often quite beneficial. You don't need to sleep an entire night, and you definitely don't want to waste too much time early on in the game, as we'll find out shortly. There's no need to guard. I think there's no chance of ambush. I think you will want to guard to ward off ambushes when you see that number climbing. Repairing, you can repair your equipment. That takes a certain amount of time too. I don't know what the needs at the bottom are, how they're changing. Actually, I'm hungry. Before I sleep, I'm gonna go ahead and eat some of the things we've picked up. Picked up some berries. Yeah, just press X to go ahead and eat those. Might as well eat some more. So we've got the main menu by pressing the tab button. Well, not the main menu, but the useful menu. By pressing the tab button, the shoulder buttons will take you to these little inner menus, and the side buttons, the bumpers, I guess, will cycle through the menus here at the top. So you've got crafting, you've got, here's a useful menu telling you what effects are active on your character. You can also see them on the bottom left next to your health bar and your stamina bar. Here's some more useful information. You can see in your needs at the middle of the screen there, food, drink and sleep, at what levels they are, and you'll want to have those close enough to 100%. The temperature is another deal. They'll explain a lot of these through character dialogue, but actually the tutorial is extremely important in this game. If you jump in without going to the tutorial, you'll not know a lot of really important basic information. So, we're also thirsty, actually. I'm gonna drink some water. So you need to regularly eat, drink and sleep. It's not as difficult to figure out. Like, it's not, they don't go overboard with it, the survival element. Okay, hold to drink. If you gather, nothing will happen because we don't have anything to hold the water with. So I'm just going to drink twice. I don't think drinking twice does anything. I think just you only need to drink once. I doubt that the buffs stack on top of each other. Stamina recovery, 0.4 stamina per second, and water effect for a number of seconds. Alright, let's carry on. So I'll sleep for just 1 hour. Triangle for confirm. You can drop and pick up backpacks with a button or by using the inventory menu. Your compass will point to your last used backpack, making it easier to find back. Backpack tracking. That's another useful feature of the game, the backpack system. So you've got 2 inventory carry weights that you're managing. Your character can carry 10 points of weight, and in your backpack you can carry another 25 points of weight, and you can kind of move things between the 2. Of course, if you drop your backpack, you will only be able to have access to the items in your pocket. So you've got pocket, backpack, and equipped items weight doesn't matter. So if you've got really heavy gear and heavy armor, heavy weapons, that doesn't really count to your total weight. So unconsciousness comes quickly and you dream of being ensnared in something. With a yelp you jump out of your bed. Relief floods you as you recognize where you are. You are back in your old bed at home, the lighthouse in Cierzo. Yuzan must have brought you back to your family's lighthouse. Only your aching body tells you that the shipwreck you suffered was not a nightmare. You need a cooking pot deployed on a lit campfire to cook recipes with more... Oh! Quick load screen took me by surprise there. So, they give you a lot of stuff. Definitely helps exploring and picking up everything. Stealing everything from everyone's house. Any RPG. But this is our house, so it's not really stealing. It's just organizing, you could say. Bread. So you'll find kind of like blueprints to learn new abilities. Gather your jam. We've got a kitchen. Find scraps, an improvised bedroll. Pouch is overweight, it's saying, but I don't think we have picked up our pouch yet. So that's a thing. Lantern. So we're walking slower now. You can still sprint when you're overweight. You can see the weight there. We're at 12.7 units out of 10. So slightly overweight there. I'm gonna go ahead and equip the new armor we found. It's slightly better than what we were wearing, and it looks less messed up. The graphics aren't amazing. Here it is, a primitive satchel. So press up to equip it. It's not very obvious. Like when you see it lying on the floor here, you've got a couple of pieces of information standing there. Triangle, open primitive satchel. You can like kind of like you're looting it, like a treasure chest. And then to equip, you press the up arrow. Not very obvious. It should be colored more prominently. It just looks white like every other arrow, so which of these arrows does what. Press up for that. Pressing left will turn on and off your active light source. Pressing right will show you both the map and the time of day and what number of day it is. So the days are counted from the moment you start playing. We're at day 2, 9 o'clock in the morning, and the temperature also shows up as neutral. You can see a bunch of useful map icons here in our town of Cierzo. You can also see helpful names, people who can be talked with and interacted with, people who have got very important information for you. They're either quest givers or they're important for the story at the moment. There are more NPCs you can talk with, but the ones listed on the map are the most important. Maybe this will change as we continue further through the story. The down button does nothing. I don't know what the down button does. Up drops your backpack. So picking up and dropping your backpack, there's reasons you might want to do that. You can dodge faster or further and sprint better. I don't know. It's kind of a level of encumbrance that is less useful during a fight. Also, when you're fighting and you're wearing your backpack, the items inside the pack will get damaged if you take hits, and if you drop it on the floor, the items will be safe. Of course, you may forget to pick it up and take it with you. No, I'm just gonna put some things in the storage here. So this is our main storage here, the stash. Got too much items on us, so just X is the activate button for most things whenever you want to equip an item or unequip something. Interact with things. I'm just going to put most items in the stash. I get most of these straight away. Big flashback roll. Food. So, one useful thing to know is you can decraft anything. You've got your crafting menu here, and you can kind of put in any item you want. You interact with it, and you can put in an item, and it's very useful to just put in items, single items, and see if anything happens from crafting. That usually means you're uncrafting them and taking components. Quite useful. All the clothes you find, you can do this with. So we've got our old tattered rags, and we get free linen cloth with that. So we're gonna craft, kind of dismantle this item. There we go. Free linen cloth added. And with these linen cloth, if we add those, we can make bandages. And that's gonna be like your, almost like Estus flask. It's like healing. That's your main healing item, at least at the start of the game. I don't know of any other healing options. Eating food is to replenish stamina and to give you other beneficial effects. So I'm just going to craft a bandage here. We start off knowing how to craft quite a lot of things, and it's useful information, because when you start off you don't really... They kind of drop you into a nasty situation, and I had to restart the game after playing for a little while on my main save because I wasted too much time. Let's go out.
Rise and shine, Trog spawn. You think you can nip off for 4 months and not pay what you owe the tribe?
A blood price is sacred. You can't just shrug off that responsibility.
Could you really not finish off that dialogue? You were almost there. Come on. For as long as you did. A blood price is sacred, Jesus. You can't just shrug off that responsibility for as long as you did.
If I don't see the money from you by the time I count to 10, you'll regret you ever came home!
You know I can't pay it. All the money we made in Orochi is at the bottom of the boat.
Yeah! You were on that ship too, weren't you? How many lives must your family be responsible for destroying before enough is enough?
That's not what the text says. Would you keep to the script, lady? Please, come on. How do I know you're not at fault? I lost my daughter on that voyage. You bring ruin to the tribe, just like your grandmother. Yeah. I'll go for the first option. This doesn't change the fact that I have no money right now and can't pay you.
If you can't make the payments you missed, we will seize your home!
That ought to cover 4 months of ignoring your duty to the tribe. Either pay up or get out of our way.
Enough of this! 12 people are dead. Stop this shameful behavior at once.
Okay, she skipped some dialogue there. This is a time for the tribe to come together and mourn our lost loved ones, not to demand payment from a survivor. Stop this shameful behavior at once.
To threaten someone like this while the lost lives are still fresh is an insult to their memory.
Judas is a victim of that shipwreck too, under the laws of the tribe. Under the laws of... Hold on a second. Here we go. Judas is a victim of that shipwreck too. Under the laws of the Blue Chamber Collective, I have declared a period of mourning. You understand what that means, don't you?
But Chamber Lady Aberdeen.
Judas has clearly been...
I said that is enough! If you want to resume discussions after the mourning period, feel free.
But until then, your concern should be for those whose lives were lost in the wreck.
Oliel, see these people off, would you?
You heard, Mother. Away with you, or I will personally see to it that you get double shifts of guard duty.
I'm sorry that was the first thing you woke up to. Please forgive them. Many of them have lost family and are not thinking straight.
Okay. I can't believe they want to seize my home. Can you do something?
If I could do more, I would. The most I can do for you is declare a mourning period and buy you a little time.
For 5 days, no one in the tribe can ask for what you owe.
That gives you a few days to pay back the money. Either gather the money or earn a tribal favor, and they won't be able to touch you.
That gives you 5 days to pay back 150 silver coins. Use your time to gather the money or earn a tribal favor. Then they won't be able to do a thing to you.
Once you can make the payment, come see me. Please find a way to make it work.
The last thing I want to do is take your lighthouse. It's our house. It's a lighthouse. So what should I ask her now? Usually the bottom option is to either end the dialogue or move to the next bit of dialogue, and you can choose the upper dialogues. You can choose one, and then often you can just either repeat the same dialogue or take the next dialogue, and you can... It's a lot of just information gathering that you're doing at that point. Let's see. I'll take the second option. This blood price is unfair. You can't hold me responsible for things that are out of my control.
Have you forgotten why your family bears this blood price?
When your grandmother was Chamber Lady, she turned away the followers of Alat in our time of greatest need, forcing the tribe to pay only to the 5 winds for protection. Pray only to the 5 winds for protection.
Listen well.
Because of her pride, dozens were slain by the beasts of the Scourge. Your bloodline owes it to them to pay back that debt. I understand, bitterness still runs very deep in the tribe.
Here's what I need you to do.
I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. If you understand, then get to work making that payment, Judas. I'll take the second option. We're running low on time. I'm gonna pause here for a minute and resume in a sec. Okay, here we go. Then I will have to head outside the walls.
That does seem like your most effective option, dangerous as it is.
I doubt you'd be able to gather that much in such a short time just by staying in Cierzo.
Never forget, no one is an orphan in Cierzo. Do not hesitate to ask the rest of the tribe for survival advice.
Yeah, you skipped a bit there. Though you owe us a blood price, we will still help you however we can.
If you can do a great deed for someone in Cierzo, we will owe you a tribal favor.
which I will accept as a substitute for your payment.
Once you're ready to leave Cierzo, speak with Burak, the Gate Warden.
He will judge whether or not you are prepared to face the outside world.
Remember, you only have a few days. May your ancestors watch over you.
You only have specifically exactly 5 days. Face and judgment. May your ancestors watch over you. Alrighty. So we're already nearly 2 o'clock, afternoon. The evening and night gets ridiculously dark in the game. I've already put up the brightness a little bit, but there are actually strengths of torches and strengths of light sources in the game. And the torch is really crappy. You might as well not use anything when you're walking around in the dark. So you kind of have to use the time you have in the daylight very efficiently. I failed to get the coins I needed on my first character because of all the talking to people. There's a lot of... I don't think the time stops while you're talking to people, and there's so much information to be gleaned that you're likely to waste at least a day, maybe a day and a half, just running around talking to people. Of course you can talk to them at night, people still around, just you won't be able to see your hand in front of your face because of the crazy weird lighting. Like the night is really dark in this game, and the light sources are really shit. I think you get better light sources later on, but at the very start, not yet. So these guys are weapon trainers. I'm not going to speak with them. We're just going to run around and just pick up everything that I know of what lies around to pick up useful items. So we've got a couple of scrolls here teaching you how to make stuff. Makeshift leather boots, leather attire, leather hats. So there's a set you can make for yourself. Let's go ahead and learn those first. One of them is in my pocket, and the rest is in my primitive satchel for some reason. Oh yeah, that's the food recipe I picked up earlier. Didn't have the satchel equipped then. If you've got the satchel equipped, new item pickups will be prioritized to land in your satchel over your pocket. So you can kind of swap items back and forth. You see we've got 6 out of the 10 units weight here in the pocket, and almost 1 unit out of 25 weight for the satchel. So often if my satchel's overburdened, I'll drop some items in the pocket. I've got a lot of weight that can be added to that. Is my character's arm missing? That's it. These. Look at the crafting, see how what it takes to make that stuff. So it takes any basic armor and some hides. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, there's like a hidden attribute for armors. Like their warmth, how good they are in warm weather or environments, warm, cold environments. So there's a couple of items lying around that you can get, and there's a couple of people you want to talk to. So let's see, press right to see the map. Everyone with a name you'll basically want to talk to. If I talk to Risa Aberdeen again, she'll, well, I'll say, how do I start on this quest, and she'll send me off to talk to a couple of people. I'll do that in a minute. But first, I'm just going to run around and pick up some items. Now, to get our bearings again, we came from that hill over there. That leads to the lighthouse. Bottom left you see the stamina bar running low. When you're under half, your character starts really feeling it. And they're buckled over. And then you can see they have to recover. And their back straightens up slowly. So the stamina lasts for a really long time, but I got a feeling if you really push your character, the stamina, maximum stamina, reduces quicker, because you'll lose maximum stamina over time as you take actions. it's all part of the tutorial. So pick up any berries you find. I wouldn't collect wood, because if you need wood every tree, you just scratch it to gather as much wood as you need, so that's never an issue. So there's a felling great axe here. I'm not sure if it's always a great axe, if it's sometimes a one-handed axe, because I remember running around with a one-handed axe earlier. So there's a two-handed axe. One of the requirements for leaving town will be having a weapon equipped. You'll want to have water, a weapon, and your satchel. That's what the gatekeeper will tell us. Anyway, I think it's already getting dark. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's an item behind him. A hatchet. It's behind this merchant here. Actually, a lot of prominent people have some useful items nearby. Or at least that's how I remember it. Here's another named character on the map who we can talk to. And there's an item nearby as well. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, here it is. Junk pile. So we've got a patterned worker hood, a cooking pot, and arrows. I think that's a big deal to find a cooking pot. Yoink. Just for now. We'll see about that later. Let's see, a few more items. Well, I've got the water purifying plant over there. Now we get the water skin to collect water with. Yoink. So where did that end up? Here it is. It's already full. So you can see capacity 5 out of 5, clean water. You can drink water from it, and then you can refill it whenever you see a body of water. Go ahead and use that, and you'll see there's 1 point of water missing, 1 out of 5. Now you can just refill it here. If it's completely empty, you don't have to refill 5 times, you just refill once and it'll be filled up. Press square to look at other menus. So what we can do with this is we can move it to the pocket. It's in the satchel right now, in the backpack. We can empty it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And now it's empty, primitive satchel, water skin, capacity 0 out of 5, empty. So you can fill it back up with clean water, but we can just hold triangle to drink clean water straight from the water reservoir here. And we can use triangle at the sea to gather salt water, which actually turns out to be quite useful too for another reason. You can't drink salt water, you'll die. Drinking water restores stamina over time and removes the burning status. It can be filled, blah 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 blah. So it says content salt water. Can't drink. Salt water's bad. Oh yeah, now I remember what down does. Down sheaths your weapon. If you sheath a two-handed weapon and puts it on the shoulder, it's really cool looking. I like it. Okay, so there's a machete here. Next to the fish. Let's see, is there any useful item over here? No. Nothing here either. I know there's a junk pile over here. Here's some items. Now what I did on my first run was I picked all the items lying around here and I sold them all. You can actually get a decent amount of silver by selling all of the items, like all of these weapons that you find. You'll need at least one weapon to be let out of the gates, but it doesn't have to be the weapons you find here. If we pick a couple of pieces of wood from a tree, it takes 2 wood to craft a... where is that thing? Yeah, primitive club. And they'll allow you out of the gates with the primitive club as well, but I don't think it's the greatest of weapons. I think you want to use something else. Early game, I think you should stick with one-handed weapons, because you can also carry a torch, and they'll give you a mission to go and explore some cave in a minute. So, yeah, if you're holding a two-handed weapon, you can't really pulled out the torch, so you'll be running in the dark. So I wouldn't recommend using a two-handed weapon. I'd recommend using a one-handed weapon instead. So I'm going to put the hatchet here. Using the hatchet and the torch. There, as you can see, we can have both equipped at the same time. Very useful.
Greetings, friend.
The sea was generous today, seafood and fish all year round. That's why something. And so on the left we've got our items. Pressing X is to sell any of these things, and then triangle to confirm. So I'm going to go ahead and sell the fishing harpoon. Off you go, the machete as well, and nothing else. On the right side we've got the items he's selling and the amounts he's selling them for. Quite expensive early on. We start the game with 27 silver coins for some reason. So confirm transaction, 11 coins for us. You can easily get the quests of paying off your debt done the very first day if you want. And knowing that now, when I first started, on my first character, oh yeah, I forgot there's an item here. Let's see, so I guess when you're completely down this hill, on your way to the gates, go to the left here, you got someone farming, and you've got a pitchfork here, which you can also sell for like 11 silver or something like that. Useful amount. You can find these gaberries everywhere, you can find trees, you can find these other types of fruits, or berries, crab eye, you can find that as well. Don't know what crab eye is used for, but I know that the gaberries are useful to make jam out of. Gather 4 gaberries, you can make one by jam, or you can just eat them like that, should be fine. I don't know if there's anything around here. More bushes in this. I'm not sure if expirables actually expire slower when they're in your storage box, or if they stop expiring completely when you store them. I still haven't figured everything out for myself. Figuring out how items expire is something I still have to do. If things do expire after you've picked them up, that would be an excuse to not gather too many items, too many consumables, if they're just going to go off anyway. I think certain items last much longer than others. I've seen food items that just don't expire. Seaweed as an ingredient, that's something that just never expires. You can hold that forever. You can tell by the white bar under the name its expiry status. So we picked up this bread earlier, and we can tell it's already, the red bar is already crawling on there. Not sure if you can still safely eat this bread when the red bar is almost completely consumed the white bar. I've got a feeling it doesn't have levels of expiry. I think it's just either safe to eat or unsafe to eat. I need that bread. Why not? Also, I don't know how stacking influences an item's expiry. Like, we've got 4 gaberries here. If this, the red bar here, is a median of all the expiries of the gaberries, I'll eat one. Nope. Nope. It was probably the most expired gaberry first. So probably it's from expiry rates. The thing that's closest to expiry will be showing up first. So we've got a bunch of people I still need talking to. That is time consuming. I think I'm gonna just rest, call it a day for now since we're running out of daylight, and actually, what time is it? 7:30. Yeah, it gets dark kind of quick, and at night there's so little visibility, it's ridiculous. I think I'll rest for like an hour or two and show off what the darkness is like. It's kind of ridiculous. Sleep for 3 hours then. Here we go. You can move stealthily by crouching. Having a lit torch or lantern will make you very visible nonetheless. Put out your light when sneaking. Yeah, it'll make you very visible to enemies, but it won't increase your visibility. Specific tools are needed to gather some resources. Mineral ores required for require a mining pick, and fishing spots need a fishing harpoon. I guess I shouldn't have sold that fishing harpoon then. Oh well. Next tip, please. Pay close attention to the alerts displayed at the bottom left. They will warn you when you're hungry, your weapon is damaged, etc. I'm happy there's no loading screen to get into your house. That's kind of cool. So I picked up a Engender's Passivity plank shield here. Let's see, unequip the hats. I'm going to go ahead and store all of the items we've picked up that we're not going to be needing straight away, because the weight kind of fills up really quick. As you see here, we're already at 18 out of 25 units. It's really crazy how quick the weight in your inventory fills up. Get rid of the Felling Great Axe, the hats, Crab Eye Seeds. What does it say? When grilled is the first step in creating usable poisons. Okay, cooking pot. I should probably keep that on me for now. 3 units of wood. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll keep that. Move money to the stash. You probably want to stash as many items as you can early on, considering you can actually, when you die in the game, you don't ever actually die. There's no like game over. They just do random effects to you. And the big reason I had to restart my first character that I started the game with was they gave you 5 days to get this quest done, and I went out of the gates to start questing, and look at this nonsense. Look at this lack of visibility. So, put up my torch, look at that nonsense. Wow. Illuminating. I could see everything now. Amazing. It's amazing. The worst. It's not even as dark as it gets darker. In certain spots you're surrounded by pitch black and you have no idea where the hell you're going. Yeah, honestly, this isn't as bad as I remember. I remember this being worse. Yeah, the visibility was much worse last time I checked this. Like the glow you're seeing on the walls here, I didn't see any of that. I don't know if the lighting was just broken at that moment for me. What you're seeing isn't as bad as I experienced earlier. Pick up some more gaberries. Yoink. Yeah, very nice. Oh yeah, when you're putting things in the storage chest, it doesn't show up items that you have equipped. It'll only show up items in your pocket, in your primitive satchel. So you have to unequip items if you want to put them in the storage chest. Forgot about that. I believe the torch runs out its durability as it's in use, so whenever you're not using it, might as well press left to douse it. You're wearing some really flashy stuff. The design of the weapons and armor in this game, some of it is like ridiculously flashy looking. It's cool. Oh wait, that's the door. In we go. So I'm gonna wait till morning and then we're gonna talk to everyone. Just thinking, is there another useful piece of information I must leave? Nah. again, as I usually do, I'm spending a lot of time going over a little bit of content. Unfortunately, this is how I often do things. I just spend way too long talking and not enough time playing. I can't do two things at the same time. Use the bed, sleep for... No, I'm going to sleep longer. I want to see the daytime again. And the morning's pretty... The morning's visibility is pretty bad too, because you've got the flash, the sun flash, which is pretty severe. Oh yeah, it's not X, it's triangle. There we go. Running a little late on time, but not that late. I was hoping to tack on this video with the one prior, but that's going to be like an hour-long video. Maybe that's okay. But at the rate that I'm going now, with how long it takes me to go over all this explanation, I'm probably going to have a couple of episodes in a row here. Wild beasts drop body parts. Specific tools are needed to gather some resources. Okay, we've already seen them. Here we go. Amazing graphics. I've never seen graphics this good. Impressive. Yeah, but the gameplay's fun. So far, I've enjoyed it. With L2 and R2, you can switch between quick action bars. You can set a lot of things to quick action. It's as easy as pressing the X button on an item. No, not the X button. My bad. Wasted a bandage. Pressing the square button, assign to quick slot, and then you can go and assign it there. The one on the left is the bar on behind the top bar, and the right one is your first active one, R2, L2. I'll put a square on the back one. There we go. I usually have actions on my R2 bar and items like antidote, bandage, stuff like that on the back bar. I wouldn't put food there, but more like items you might need in combat. It's not easy to bandage while in combat. I guess you can run far away from your enemies and try and sneak in a bandage, but I think you're expected to be able to defeat all of your opponents and then after the battle do a little recovery. Oh yeah, the kitchen. I haven't really looked into that very much yet. So the reason we picked up sea salt earlier, and I guess this is a useful tip I could show, if you put in the sea salt satchel here, you craft clean water. It says, so you're boiling water, creating clean water, but it doesn't show a hidden extra item you're going to get. 5 salt. So you boil the salt water from the sea, you get 5 clean water, and you also manage to extract the salt while doing so. And salt is a key ingredient for travel ration, and that seems to be the easiest and slowest expiry item you have access to in the early game. Requires honestly just 2 consumables and 1 bit of salt, so it's relatively easy to make. I don't think you can use berries to craft with, but you can use jam. So what you can do is you can pick up a bunch of gaberries, craft a gaberry jam, and then use the jam as a component for the rations. So I'm going to have to craft this one and another. There we go. Another gaberry jam. There we go. Crafted a gaberry jam, and where's the ration? Yeah, as you can see, gaberry jam shows up as an ingredient. You can't use just berries. It has to be, well, I don't know, but gaberries don't seem to work as a component here. It says ingredient, but I guess berries don't count as ingredients. They're fruits or berries. Doesn't say. I don't know. I don't know if this game follows any kind of rules. There's certain things that seem logical that you can overlook very easily. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Let's carry on, shall we? So actually, we're ready to head out for day 3, and I'm not in a rush. I guess to end this episode, I'll quickly tell the story of what happened to my original character. So I was running around, and they'll tell you who to talk with, and they'll send you to talk with just about all these important characters, named characters on the map. So I spent a whole day talking to these guys, then I'm lost again. I go back to Risa, she'll tell me to talk to a quest giver, and there's that. Get that done, set off outside the camp after talking with the guard and meeting all of his requirements to safely traverse the wilderness. Go out, do the quests, but I get greedy. I run into some bandits walking out there, and I was doing okay in combat, but the last one managed to finish me off anyway, and I got carted away to their bandit camp, imprisoned at nighttime. I mentioned earlier that it's ridiculously dark game at night, and they don't give you any kind of powerful light source. Of course, light sources also increase your visibility, and you have a bandit camp here with people who are way outgearing me, and they were one-shotting me. So I'm in the bandit camp. They've taken my satchel is missing because it goes missing when they capture you. You have to find it again. That's a whole big deal. Don't know how to solve that problem yet. If it happens again, we'll have to wait and see. It shows up on the compass, at least its direction, so there's a thing to take into account. So yeah, they respawned me in the bandit camp. I got killed over and over again. They must have killed me 3 or 4 times before the game took pity on me and spawned me as a random event outside of the camp. I don't know what their story was. I really don't remember. But the game took pity on me, respawned me outside of the bandit camp. I went back to Cerezo. Yeah. Came back here and 15 days had passed. So I'd completely failed the quests. I was already overburdened, and I have no idea how the game plays out if you lose access to, well, I think this is the big deal, losing access to your stash. Like, I don't know how you play without being able to hoard things. Anyway, that's not going to happen this time. We're going to solve this problem before it happens. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.